Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melanie. I love to talk about stories, books, movies, video games, TV shows, whatever it is. Recently in my life, I have been a little sick. I have moved, so I just wanted to make a quick video. I'm getting settled into my new place about something that I have learned from a series called The Wheel of Time. It's a famous high fantasy series written by Robert Jordan and completed by Brandon Sanderson. I am currently reading book 6, just barely started it, finished book 5 pretty recently, and there's 14 books in the series, not counting the prequel book that I have not read. So Robert Jordan does this thing that I just wanted to mention briefly, because over the course of these giant, size books, I have read a lot of good stuff, and I can't always pinpoint what the good stuff is that I'm reading, and I can't always make a video out of it because I'm just enjoying the read, you know? So I just want to point out something that Robert Jordan does in these books that I've commented on numerous times. And it's part of something that I struggle with in my writing, and that is fight scenes. And it's not the fight scenes themselves that I am particularly looking at today. It is how he gets into them. Because with very little forewarning, Robert Jordan has these scenes where people are going about their day-to-day and suddenly a fight ensues. At the beginning of each chapter, there are little pictures and symbols indicating kind of what the chapter is about and where it's going, but it doesn't tell you everything. It's not necessarily a spoiler, it's more of a tease. And a particularly strong tease is the Trolloc little symbol. I'll try not to give spoilery stuff. This is book 5, and that is the little symbol that comes up when you can definitely expect a Trolloc attack. But these attacks aren't given much warning in the writing itself. So in the series, as I've been reading, I've been really interested in the fact that before a fight happens or an attack, there isn't this long-winded paragraph that's suddenly there was a chill in the air, something was different, something had changed. You know, no one's sensing the attack. Sometimes that happens and it makes sense for a character, or someone can expect something to occur, or a battle is basically planned and you don't need to surprise anyone with it. But a lot of the fights, a lot of these battles and attacks are sudden, and that's the point, is that you don't know when they'll come, and they could happen to anybody at any time, especially the Trollocs. As more evil is spreading across the world, there's, more to worry about. It'll be a type of scene where instead of that feeling a character gets of, oh, this thing's happening, I must be prepared, or they're looking over their shoulder, they have their hand on their sword, or something like that. It's literally they're talking with someone. This is just an example I'm making up in my head. They're talking to someone, they're having a good time, whatever, and then an arrow flies through the person they're talking to, and they drop onto the floor, and you're like, and then chaos happens. And the reason I like that is not so much just that it's realistic, because books are not reality. You get to mess with reality all the time when you write a book, but books should feel real. And I don't know if you've ever been in a intense situation where you had to go into emergency mode, but that doesn't come with a lot of warning. No one's sitting around telling you of a prophecy of the exact time, and you're not going to get that sixth sense of the thing that's about to happen unless it's something you've established that a character has. But even in that case, you still need to offer some surprise and some stakes. And I think that the reason that I like that Robert Jordan did this throughout these books is that it's not just that I'm surprised, it's that I have to keep up. It's that I feel like that feeling you get in a video game that you don't always get in a book, where you are a character and you have to react. Even though I don't actually have to do anything in these battles, I still am faced with that sudden feeling of oh my gosh, where I gotta put on my armor, I gotta get my sword. I feel like the emergency is there for me for half a second, and then I think is really effective for your readers. You write a scene and you just throw them in, and you're like, they were having a party, and then someone drops onto the floor, or an explosion happens and you just surprise them. You just state it as fact. This is what happened, and this is how this character reacts. It also is really effective for showing what a character would do in that situation. Would your character freeze? Is your character prepared for battle? Either way, there is that shock. And that feeling adds to the danger and adds to the intensity and the tension. So if you're looking for that extra shock value, don't try to sneak your way into a battle. If you're like, hey, how does this normal conversation turn into a fight scene? You can just have something happen. Like, it doesn't need to be a huge transition. It just can, happen like that. I know sometimes getting into a different pacing of a scene, from slow to fast or fast to slow, I don't always know what to do. But when it comes to a fight, you can just have the thing happen. If someone has a goal and they're going to fight another person about it, that person's not going to wait until like the perfect dramatic moment all of the time. They're just going to step in and fight. And so yeah, maybe consider that with your next fight scene that you're writing. How do I get it started? How do I get this attack happening? Just make it happen. Like, that sounds really cheesy and really simple. But you can fix the odds and ends later. I gotta tell myself this too. You can go back and you can edit the little things later. But like Robert Jordan has shown, you can also just write the scene before it and immediately write the scene that happened. It does a lot for shock value, but it does a lot for the feeling of the reader. You want to surprise them. You don't want them to expect everything. Just because you're foreshadowing something doesn't mean you're a better writer or that it makes it sound like you knew what was going on, because sometimes you want to write as if you weren't even expecting it. You want your character and your reader to both feel like this was not to be expected sometimes, because that just adds to the stakes of the world that they're in. If they can't always expect every fight, then neither the character nor the reader are bored. They're on the, edge of their seat. They're walking on eggshells because they don't quite know when and what will happen. So that is just a quick thing that I learned. I think this can be a great tool for writing a fight scene, for getting action and intensity started just by doing it. And it sounds really simple, but it's a good reminder, and I really enjoy it in these books. And that is what I have learned so far from The Wheel of Time. It's great to see you if you're still here at the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and please like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you hate this video. I love to hear it. And like the advice I got from this book, I'm just gonna cut it off and jump back into the action of my everyday life. Thanks for watching.